Interesting texture to the snowflakes today, T-Rex. They're smaller. The different temperature profile. Let's get to the door. Not that door. I think you know the door. I like that one over there. And they moved the obstacles too. All right, we're there. 7:30 in the morning. Same place as the last few days. We're in Stowe, Vermont, where they cleaned off this walkway yesterday. Yay. And here's the news that I wanted to see. If the over easy was going, so we can get over easy, despite a lot of wind at the summit, it's not that windy down below. And it's a really interesting fluid dynamic that's happening with the atmosphere today. And density. Cold air is more dense than warm air. So this storm, which is going to run to our west, is pushing warmer air over the top of the cold air that's already in place. So down here, these flags are kind of wishy-washy. They don't know which way to blow. The wind's kind of coming in from the east or even northeast down through the notch. But up at the summit, the wind is out of the south, likely already gusting to 50 miles an hour. You can look at the Mount Washington profile there at about 7 o'clock this morning, where it was gusting 79, 80 miles an hour from the south at 6,288 feet. So there's that southerly wind. Even though it's only 7 degrees at the top of Mount Washington, it actually gets warmer above that, warm air overriding the cold. And you can really make out the low-level winds here on our early morning map that's going to change dramatically. See the wind from the east in Boston and on Cape Cod gusting 20 to 30. That's the colder air beneath the warmer air aloft. And then if you look out by Lake Ontario, on the south side of Lake Ontario, the temperature this morning started off in the 30s with wind from the south. And then on the north side of Lake Ontario, it's 10 to 20 degrees with a light breeze from the north and the northeast. That is the low pressure center that's going to ride up the St. Lawrence River. And it's all happening so fast that by the time I get out the door again after going skiing for a couple of runs, hopefully, it'll all have changed. And the guidance has changed for next week too. I'll just give you a hint. Look at this real big picture, early morning satellite picture. 3 big clouds there, one over the eastern United States. That's storm number 1 for us today. One coming into California that's making headlines. That's going to be storm number 2 for us coming in on Saturday night. And then the one above Hawaii, that's going to be storm number 3 for us. It's coming in next Thursday. So the guidance has shifted on next Thursday, just as the guidance has shifted colder with today. And we'll see if we get any liquid precipitation. Now, the snowflakes are very small today because we are only saturating the layer of the atmosphere with poor dendritic growth. So we don't have big dendrites, but that's going to be changing. And we're probably going to get some sleet in here as the low goes right over us, and then a lull in the wind, and then a blizzard tonight. So there's the door we're going to be coming out in a little while, right there after going skiing. And a little while is right now is 10 a.m. and this is the surface analysis 12Z Thursday, 12 minus 5, 7 a.m. And that's when we were going out the door before. And you see all these lines. That's a warm front. There's another warm front, and there's the high pushing the air in this direction, the low pulling the air in this direction. That's why we have an easterly wind underneath a southerly wind, and boy, has it been doing some serious, well, not damage right out the door here. We're on the 4th floor looking toward the east. The wind is strongest up over the top of this low cloud, and for the first time in 2025, we actually have a little liquid precipitation. It's a very light drizzle with a temperature near freezing, so technically we call it freezing drizzle. All right, we have to briefly interrupt our out the door weather and more for a quick update at 11 o'clock. I'm not even done editing, and this is happening all way ahead of schedule. We now have dendrites, that is, fat snowflakes have returned, and this is way ahead of schedule. The air is still coming in light from the south, so we're almost in an eye-like feature of this low pressure system. And with this light wind, maybe the lifts will open back up, and we have a powder afternoon. That was not really in the short-range forecast. Calling the play-by-play. We now return to our regularly scheduled out-the-door weather and more, already in progress. Lifts have been opening and closing. You'd never think it was that windy by looking right here. But like I talked about, the cold air damming. I got a comment from one of the workers that was up the top of Sensation this morning. What do you say about the top of Sensation right up there?
You're good for now.
So what was happening at the top of Sensation?
Sensation was the windiest I've ever seen. Chairs were touching the terminal.
Wow. Well, we appreciate your work. Thank you. Running over easy.
Lifts are just shutting down all around.
Yeah. He said it's the most wind he's ever seen. He would have to guess it gusted about 60. And sure enough, since Rex and I went out the door a short time ago, it did gust to 92 on Mount Washington. But everything is in flux. Things are changing rapidly. And as the low pressure system goes right over us this afternoon and evening, the wind's going to come around from the north. Any liquid precipitation is going to change back to snow. And we're expecting brief blizzard conditions here. The 3K NAM with the dark blue, snow squalls tonight. And we picked up about 2 or 3 inches this morning. And it was skiing really nice. The most dense snow with a little sleet on top we've had in a long time. And so we're going to have a powder storm tonight, but it's going to be so windy tomorrow. I don't know. We're going to have wind holds with wind from the other direction tomorrow. So that should be really interesting. And then the big picture pattern, I showed that image, the 3 storms all lined up on the satellite imagery. And that one that's coming into California today is going to be here on Sunday. And the one that's north of Hawaii with surf warnings in Hawaii, that one's going to be coming in here, it looks like a week from today. So another Thursday system. So why don't we just get right to the Canadian and try and play this out. There's our low going east of us tonight, and high pressure builds, and that high pressure comes in, and if we get little wind, it's going to happen late tomorrow. First thing Saturday, the high kind of splits. Part of it's north, part of it's south, and we end up with a wall of snow. Looks light though, wall of light snow coming at us on Saturday afternoon. And then Saturday night, we're going to have waves of low pressure on a front south of New England, cold enough for most of us to have frozen precipitation until about 1 o'clock. Now, I'm going to stop this at 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. And at that point, it's a 991 low over near Philadelphia. And you see the kink in the isobars there along the south coast? That's the warm front from Long Island to Nantucket. And so we're mostly in the cold air, and all that purple and pink, it's a sleet and freezing rain, significant icing possible here on Sunday across central New England, then just pure snow to the north of that. There's a big 480 cutoff there in central Canada. That's a wayward polar vortex with a massive 1040 high stretching from western Canada to north of New England. And that air is going to rush back in. So if we put this back in motion and take that storm to our east on Sunday afternoon, here comes the Arctic chill. A lot like what's going to happen here on our Friday is going to happen on a Monday with blizzard conditions at the Canadian border and the upslope area. And we have a high pressure system coming in, and it looks like it's going to stay windy now right into Wednesday. So we're losing that pattern of not windy Wednesday. The high finally comes over us Wednesday night. We're talking pretty close to record cold here with wind Tuesday into Wednesday. And then we have to slow it down again because the system that's north of Hawaii today is going to be crossing the Mississippi River Valley next Wednesday into Thursday. Now let's stop it at 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. next Thursday. And oh my goodness, we have a 990 low near Nantucket. Not quite a blizzard, but pretty close. And again, not so much the wind due to the 990 low, but due to the fact that it's such a strong high. And it's a strengthening high with a ton of cold air that's going to come back in again next Friday. And that's different from yesterday where it showed most of that action missing to the south, but this is very logical considering what's going on. And then if we take that out past the next Thursday storm, that will be the third storm starting from today to next week. And then it looks like we could actually have a quiet weekend next weekend. It's not a huge Arctic chill lasting here, but it is widespread, pretty cold by day 10. Now we're out to Sunday the 22nd. And the thing that sticks out to me right there is the 546 near record warm in Western Canada and sort of seasonable chill in Eastern Canada. But if we look down to the Gulf of Mexico, there's a thermal packing, and it looks like the cold front wants to go all the way to Cuba next weekend. So we'd have to watch the backside of that. Eventually we're due a warm up, but it doesn't really indicate much warmth there. It just indicates more seasonable. So looks like we're going to have our first colder than the climatological average winter, December, January, February, in a long time, since maybe 2013. So I've been talking a lot about the stats around here and the snow stake. I don't know if I'm gonna have an opportunity to get up to the snow stake, maybe if the wind lets up this afternoon, but I want to talk more about that and the snow stake perhaps getting to 100 inches. And even though I haven't really looked at it, I'll show you the coast to coast North America snow from the Canadian guidance here. And the big story really is what's happening in the Sierra Nevada. The biggest snowstorm of the winter is happening right now. And then that kind of weakens as it crosses the country and then re-strengthens right over New England over the weekend. And that's where our purple is showing up. And on the West Coast, that's 5 feet of snow. And there may be a blizzard in there somewhere along the way as it crosses the country, depending on how the high pressure system sets up. And then here's New England. So New England, we're not looking at that sort of extreme map like we saw a week ago, but we're gonna have to take a closer look at the ice storm potential coming up here on Sunday especially. Speaking of ice, there's Rich down there with the snow blower. It only snowed about 2 inches last night, but it was the most dense 2-inch snow we've had in some time, and it skied like butter. There's Donna and Carl taking me into the Chapel Glades. Were so beautiful this morning. And then the lifts were kind of closing behind us, but they're reopening now, so I might get back out on the slopes. This one want to go out on the slopes? Baloo is here. Hi, Baloo. Baloo is always eager to go up there. And so the Edmore is pretty much going to be just from yesterday. It was just great skiing all week long. Yesterday with the blue sky, probably the nicest day of the winter for skiing. There was powder, there were groomers, and the sun was out, and the wind was non-existent, and the temperature got above, I think, 15 degrees in the afternoon. It was a heat wave. All right, thanks for watching. So action-packed. I'll try and get more in depth in some of the comments and the play-by-play of this weekend system. We'll take them one at a time. All right, talk to you again, 24 hours. Oh yeah, the guys working on the roof yesterday. They were the piles down there. Guys working on the roof yesterday. Well, those guys are manly men. And women. I didn't see any girls, but that's a serious job. All right, those roofs look pretty clean over there. Up above us, it's serious. They were right up there. You can see their footsteps still up there. Well, actually those are not footsteps, are they? Anyhow, here's the Inmore. Love that. Sunrise. That's the name of the chair too. And it's 40 people in front of us. What a day. We were here last night. It was snowing an inch an hour at 5 o'clock. And you can tell by the air going straight up. It's an inversion. No wind. Look who's here, the crotched man. You're everywhere. Ah, nice. Let's keep in that line. Let's do some lines. The thing about that snow yesterday is it came straight down. It just coated the trees. It's not even sticky snow. It just landed there. How did that happen? Perfect dendritic growth.
The question always is which trail would you go?
That one doesn't look too bad.
A couple of times.
I'm getting a groomer. Warning, you can die. You die smiling. Yeah, Danny, Minton.
Oh yeah!
Where'd he go? Is he still up?
I got you covered here.
said 9:15. Wednesday, February 12th. I couldn't even see it. Sorry. I wasn't ready.
Oh, nothing like a bluebird powder day.
Can you make a little dollar sign right there?
How about right here?
No, that's not really what I want. But I messed the video up anyway, sorry. That's Danny's track on the right. What a morning. What a morning, what a morning. Donner and Carl Weller. Whirl away Wellers. You do whirl away Wellers.
My knee does not like this.
Pretty is this?
Got the right spot. You have to get one video in the powder field down here, though. This is all.
There's a rope, man.
No, you go around it.
There's a rope, man. Where are you gonna duck that rope right over here?
No, but we're gonna go around it.
Oh, nice outfit. Woo! Perfect for this kind of weather. We can see you in the sunshine.
We're gonna do right over here on this side. Come down here.
Hey. This rope is ridiculous, Scott. Hang on.
Come on. No, get down here.
Wednesdays are good if you can get them. Beautiful. All right, check this out. Watch this. Pull deep. Pull deep. There they are. The mountain crew up there. Breaking the ice. Yeah. And it's always an interesting spring observation around here. Oops. Only about 3 or 4 days so far this year have we had a view like this. Oh, what a bluebird Wednesday afternoon. Hey, Sean, good to see you. Herb the Legend Stevens in the house. What a day. All right, this is cool. Top of Vermont. This is one of the brightest days we've had. There's the summit of Mount Mansfield. And through those trees is the summit of Jay Peak and then Mount Washington. I also see some. It's disappeared behind the haze, I guess. Over there. Get your bearing straight. Experts only. 3:15. It's gonna be that low light time of day. What a day too. Didn't realize it was actually some ocean effect snow happening in Weymouth. So after 2 days of a time lapse from Bass River, how about a time lapse from Weymouth today? And incoming system. Wind from the east down near the ground, wind from the west and southwest up in the sky.